Have a nice day. Today is Friday, 21st of February 2025. February 21st is celebrated as International Mother Language Day. The day is celebrated annually to promote linguistic and cultural diversity and multilingualism. Why is it celebrated? Because the day commemorates the Bengali language movement of 1952 when people East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, protested for the recognition of Bengali as a national language. The day was proposed by Bangladesh. The United Nations General Assembly formally recognized the day in 2002. What happens on this day is actually in Bangladesh. The day is observed as the national holiday. The Shahid Minar Memorial in Dhaka commemorates the martyrs of the 1952 Bengali language movement. Indian Bengalis in West Bengal, Assam, Jharkhand, Tripura, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands also observe the day. Other related initiatives are the United Nations General Assembly established once again 2008 as the International Year of Languages. The Indian government released digital learning materials for schools and colleges in the 22 most widely spoken Indian languages in 2014. How did it start? Actually, UNESCO once again first announced the International Mother Language Day and the United Nations General Assembly later adopted it. It has been celebrated annually since 2000. What can you would participate firstly in learn more about the International Mother Language Day on the United Nations website. Participation in events that celebrate the day, such as reading, performances, and discussions. Why is it important? Because when language are lost, so are the traditions, memories, and ways of thinking that make up the world's cultural diversity. The United Nations estimates that more than 40% of the world's 6,000 languages are endangered. Now, starting the newspaper analysis with the world news, including Israel blames Palestinian militants for bombing in Tel Aviv suburb. Child hostages identified but body Hamas released was not their mother. Israel says JD Vance calls immigration greatest threat to United States and Europe at CPAC. Trump administration is flouting an order to temporarily lift a freeze on the foreign aid. Judges say arrest former King Gyanendra Shah, remarks, says Nepal's Bhattadi. Now, starting the newspaper with the Hindu, China backs Trump's Ukraine peace bid at G20 as United States allies rally behind Zelensky. US President Donald Trump with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. China supports all efforts conducive to peace in Ukraine, including the recent consensus reached between the United States and Russia. China came out in support of United States President Donald Trump's bid to strike a deal with Russia to end the war in the Ukraine at a G20 meeting in South Africa on Thursday, February 2025, while the United States allies rallied around the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Less than a month into a presidency, Mr. Trump has appended United States policy on the war, scrapping a campaign to isolate Moscow with a phone call to Russian President Vladimir Putin and talks between the senior United States and Russia officials that have sidelined the Ukraine. Mr. Trump on Wednesday then announced Zelensky as a dictator, prompting statements or support for the Ukrainian president from G20 members such as Australia, Germany, and the United Kingdom. China supports all efforts conducive to peace in the Ukraine, including the recent consensus reached between the United States and Russia. Wang Yi told other G20 foreign ministers gathered in the Johannesburg, according to a statement from his ministry. Instead, China might turn its attention to discussing a Chinese role in the eventual reconstruction and peacekeeping. Sometimes that would give Beijing a significantly more vested interest in the European security architecture, she added. The Trump administration said on Tuesday it had agreed to hold more talks with Russia on ending the nearly 3-year-long conflict after a 4.5-hour long meeting in the Saudi Arabia. Russia said the talks has been useful, but hardened its demands, notably in insisting it would not tolerate the NATO alliance granting membership to the Ukraine. Sri Lanka not seeking to renegotiate Adani power deal, says top official from the Energy Ministry. KTM Udayanga Hemapala, secretary to the Ministry of Energy, Sri Lanka. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka's cabinet has cleared a proposal to set up solar power plants in the Sampur in the eastern Trincomalee district in a joint venture of governments of Sri Lanka and India through the Ceylon Electricity Board and National Thermal Power Corporation of India. Colombo is not seeking to renegotiate the contentious renewable energy project with Adani Green. A top Sri Lankan official said a week after the company abruptly pulled out of a wind farm initiative in the islands of the northern province. Adani Green, which had pledged an investment of $442 million in the wind power plants in the Mannar and Punerian, informed Sri Lanka's port of the investment BOI in a letter dated February 12, 2025 that it would respectively withdraw from the project even as the government sought a lower tariff for the power purchase. In a media statement on the decision, a spokesperson of the Adani Group said, "We remain committed to Sri Lanka and are open to future collaboration if the government of Sri Lanka so desires." Now, going towards the Hindustan Times newspaper states that the doors of Chief Minister's office are now open for everyone. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta, Hindustan Times interview. Rekha Gupta at the CM office in New Delhi on Thursday. Soon after taking oath at a grand function at the Ramlila Maidan as the 9th Chief Minister of Delhi and the 4th woman to hold the top job, Rekha Gupta spoke to Hindustan Times at her office in the Delhi Secretariat about the priorities of the her government, the key promises made by the party and the party BJP in the run-up to the elections, and working with the state's Lieutenant Governor LG editor experts of an interview. "I have just taken oath as the new Chief Minister of Delhi. What's your vision?" Today, she said that today I have taken charge of as the Chief Minister. We will do sustained work to complete our vision of seeing a fixed Delhi. Now, a single day will be wasted. You may not have stopped inside this room, the Chief Minister's office of Delhi Secretariat before this, but now the doors of the Chief Minister's office are now open for everyone. Mahakumbh water, UP government seeks to debunk pollution claims by quoting scientists. Devotees take a deeper Triveni Sangam during the ongoing Mahakumbh Mela in 2025 Prayagraj. Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath government on Thursday issued a release quoting a scientist to debunk the hypes about the purity of Ganga water at the Mahakumbh. The government asserted that the Ganga water in UP's Prayagraj was as pure as alkaline water. This comes after a Central Pollution Control Board CPCB report to the National Green Tribunal NGT suggested high presence of a fecal coliform bacteria in the river where crows have taken a holy dip in the Mahakumbh since it began on January 13. According to UP government figures, over 58 crore people have taken a dip in the sacred water of Triveni Sangam, the confluence of Ganga, Yamuna and the Saraswati at the ongoing Mahakumbh in Prayagraj. Since the gathering started, UP's Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath had already dismissed the report, saying that the Sangam water was fit for bathing. Now, going to the economy of the country from the business point of view, from banking and finance, defending rupee Reserve Bank of India forward dollar sales touched $67.92 billion as of December 31. In the spot market, the Reserve Bank of India's dollar sales stood at $45 billion in the third quarter of $15.15 billion in December month of 2024, $20.22 billion in the November, and $9.27 billion in the October month, while it brought dollar worth $9.63 billion in the September 2024 according to RBI data. The rupee depreciated by 1.5% month-on-month MOM in January 2025. In the line with the movements in the most major currencies aimed at growing global uncertainties, it had fallen to a low of 87.95 earlier this month. Maruti Suzuki is top spot in India's EV space, aims to reclaim 50% market share. The company last commanded that level of market penetration in the financial year 19, but there has since ceded some ground to rivals like Tata, Hyundai and Kia. As for financial year 2023, the company's market share in India stood at 41.6%. The company last commanded the levels of market penetration in financial year 19, but has since ceded some ground to rivals like Tata, Honda, and Kia. India's biggest car maker, Maruti Suzuki, wants every other car sold in the country to be from its stables, as the company is reclaiming 50% market share as a part of a new mid-term management plan for financial year 2025 to financial year 2030. The company is also aiming to be the biggest producer, exporter, and seller of electric vehicles (EVs) in the country, despite the delayed pivot to the electric vehicle segment. While it is yet to commence any sales, the company last commanded at the levels of market penetration in the financial year 19, but has since ceded some ground to rivals like Toyota, Hyundai, and Kia. As of financial year 2023, the company's market share in India stood at 41.6%, while the company noted it achieved revenue and profit targets ahead of schedule by the improving the sales mix and quality. The sales volume target could not be met. Security and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) plans framework for the fast-track follow-on offer by REIT Invention IT. Is the regulator has proposed a lock-in provision for 3 years for preferential issue of units of REITs and Invention IT is allotted to sponsors. SEBI has sought public comment by March 13 on the proposal. Last week, the regulator proposed REIT and Invention IT to disclose financial information in their offer document in line with the public issue and listing norms. Going to the science and tech, we have harnessing artificial intelligence to generate patterns of antibiotic resistance in real time. Photography is for representational purpose only. A new AI-driven tool, AMR Sense, developed by a team of researchers, has been deployed to use routine data that is generated in hospitals to generate accurate and early insights on the antimicrobial resistance at the global level, national level, and hospital level. A team of researchers from IIT Delhi have come up with the artificial intelligence-powered data integration and predictive analytics tools to understand the patterns of the antibiotic resistance in real time, enabling various agencies to act on them speedily. As a part of collaboration between the Indraprastha Institute of Information Technology, Delhi CHRI, PATH, Tata 1MG, and Indian Council of Medical Research, the artificial intelligence-driven tool AMR Sense has been deployed to use routine data that is generated in the hospitals to generate accurate and early insights on the antimicrobial resistance culture in the global level, national level, and hospital level. In a paper, Emerging Trends in Antimicrobial Resistance in Bloodstream Infections, a multi-centric longitudinal study in India, published in the Lancet Regional Health Southeast Asia, authors Jasmine Kaur, Harpreet Singh, and Tawpriti Shetty show results from the analyzing 6-year data from 21 tertiary care centers in the Indian Council of Medical Research (AMR) surveillance network, retrospectively established relationships between the antibiotic pairs and the directional influence of resistance in community and hospital-acquired infections. The silent victims of cancer are revealing the indirect consequences on children. Loss of opportunity for education is just one example of the indirect costs of cancer treatment. Such costs includes non-medical expenses and financial loss from the diagnosis and the treatment. While policies focus on reducing the direct treatment costs, easing the indirect burden through the cure, aid, educational support, and employment protections is equally crucial. Why me, man? An 18-year-old from Mumbai asked when he was diagnosed with the Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2018. His dream of becoming an investment banker had shattered with the diagnosis, but he did not just survive. He thrived. I heard him speak at an event organized by a leading cancer hospital in Mumbai for International Childhood Cancer Day, which falls on February 15. Unlike most teenagers of his age, whose hands are busy scrolled through social media, while one of the Arawa's hands received chemotherapy, the other clutched his accountancy books. He did not let cancer slow him down. Instead, he conquered it, emerging as an all-India topper in the chartered accountancy exams. But not all childhood cancer stories see a happy end. How do you need to know about glaucoma? Regular comprehensive eye exams can help detect glaucoma early. Glaucoma is one of the leading causes of vision impairment and blindness globally. Glaucoma is an eye condition that damages the optic nerve. The optic nerve, located at the back of each eye, carries a visual message from the eye to the brain to help you see. When the optic nerve is damaged, it can lead to blindness. Glaucoma is one of the leading causes of the vision impairment and the blindness globally. In India, glaucoma is the third leading cause of the blindness after the cataract and refractive errors. As per the 2023 research paper, prevalence of glaucoma types, clinical profile, and disease severity at a presentation. The Editorial Institute based a cross-sectional study from the South India by Praveen Kumar Seth et al. Glaucoma contributes to 12.8% of the blindness in India, the paper said. How does glaucoma occur? Glaucoma is caused by the increase in the pressure inside your eye. Our body's eye constantly make a clear fluid known as aqueous humor that nourishes the eye. When new aqueous humor is made, an equal amount of drained out through an area called the anterior chamber angle, or the angle where the iris and cornea meet together at an angle. This drainage of the aqueous humor is crucial to maintaining the pressure in your eye, or intraocular pressure. When the drainage is blocked or does not work properly, the fluid builds up in your eye pressure increases, and this damages the optic nerve, causing vision loss. Green humor by Rohan Chakravarti on Donald Trump praising funds for conservation. Executive order. Get back now. Dear presence of plastic straws with love from the sharks, wrenching their way through the Gulf of Mexico. Rohan Chakravarti is a cartoonist and illustrator from the Nagpur. His series Green Humor consists of cartoons and comics on wildlife, nature, conservation, environmental issues, sustainability, and all things green. Health disease, emerging technologies, and attendant risks. After COVID-19 pandemic, we are always on the lookout for the next pathogen, disease X, that might cause the next pandemic. A collection of articles on the latest in healthcare from the both sides of the bed. The last century has been a time of frenetic activity, of change, advancements, and regression. Even as a man stayed on the path of the quest of longevity and the good health, while pathogens have come around, much like fashion, in a cyclical pattern, the human capacity to handle what is thrown as it has evolved rapidly. Armed as it is with solid tools in the armamentarium, we see that advance in clinical and pharmacological research and development and technology have come in the leaps and bounds as we view this century through the rear view mirror. The cataclysmic COVID-19 pandemic that is still retreating from our line of sight has in a very short while dramatically changed our understanding of healthcare, as if it was the revenge of science, striking back at a race that had long kept it at a periphery. And in the peer-reviewed journal Health and Wellness entered the heart and the heart of our consciousness. As our knowledge expanded with the benefit of a lived experience and technology at a gallop, we learned to handle things differently. For one, preparedness has become the watchword. We are always on the lookout for the next pathogen, disease X, that might cause the next pandemic. We have a pandemic treaty between the nations in a place for cooperation. Vaccine technology that sits on a very advanced platform. We have learned the values of sharing scientific information freely. Nations have learned to work together. They have a better understanding of One Health, and we are finally grasping the threads to understand the full magnitude of the impact of the climate change on health. This package, the first of several such endeavors, is an attempt to bring our readers up to scratch on the latest healthcare from both sides of the bed. It has rich pickings from the writings and musings of experts in various fields, from the emerging pathogens to impact of social media on the mental health, new age gene editing technology, AI in healthcare, the challenges of non-communicable disease and antimicrobial resistance, medical variables, and One Health. This is a book to keep, for it attempts to look to the future in the context of the past. Elon Musk's Grok artificial intelligence chatbot will have standalone app for macOS and Windows. Grok is available on the App Store for iPhone and iPad. Elon Musk posted on a platform X that the Grok AI chatbot will have the standalone app for macOS and Windows Mac operating system. AI startup XAI's Grok chatbot is set to get a standalone app for Mac operating system and Windows, said XAI owner Elon Musk on the platform X on February 19. XAI this week launched the new Grok 3 chatbot that Musk described as a scary smart earlier. This billionaire pictured the new Grok chatbot as a frontrunner amongst its rivals. Musk and OpenAI, which he was previously involved with, are currently tangled in a legal case over the ChatGPT maker's transition to for-profit structure. Musk aims to stop this from taking place. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has in turn accused Musk of trying to slow down his company. Grok is available on the App Store for iPhone and iPad, but the Google Play Store notes that it is coming soon, though users can pre-register for the app. At last, there's a famous personality from India, that is Syed Ahmad Khan, whose birth anniversary is 17 October 1817, 27th of March 1898. Also spelled, Syed Ahmad Khan was an Indian Muslim reformer, philosopher, educationist, and in 19th century during the British India. Though initially espousing the Muslim unity, he later became the pioneer of Muslim nationalism in India and is widely credited as the father of the two-nation theory, which formed the basis of the Pakistan movement. Born into a Muslim family with strong ties to the Mughal court, Ahmed studied science and the Quran with the court. Within the court, he was awarded an honorary LLD from the University of Edinburgh in 1889. Syed maintains a strong legacy in Pakistan and among the Indian Muslims. He became a source of inspiration for the Pakistan movement and its activists, including Allama Iqbal and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. His advocacy of Islam's rationalist tradition and a broader radical interpretation of the Quran to make it compatible with the science and modernity continues to influence the global Islamic reformation. Many universities and public buildings of Pakistan bear Nisar Sayyid's name. Aligarh Muslim University celebrated Sayyid's 200th birth century with much enthusiasm on 17 October 2017. Syed Ahmad Khan says a very famous quotation. He says that when a nation becomes devoid of art and learning, it invites poverty, and when poverty comes, it brings in its wake thousands of crimes. He also says that education is the best legacy that a parent can leave for his child. Okay, thank you.